You know, it's an annual tradition here on the channel. We've been making videos about this tournament since like 2018, and it was fun when we made videos about this tournament in the past. Because when it comes to what goes on in the Beauty League, which is a Minnesota charity event that sees a whole bunch of NHL players, college players, other league players go out there, play for a few sponsored teams, and raise money for charity, it's a great cause. But because this isn't really competitive hockey, it's not really pro hockey either, it's just a whole bunch of guys going out there and having a good time, you normally see some pretty outrageous point totals. And because Brock Boeser, Vancouver Canucks right wing forward and 2015 draftee, is from the area, he has been participating in the Beauty League for a few years now. It's great, because every time he goes out there and he plays, normally for the BIC team, the big team, you know, that company that makes your pens and your lighters, he's been playing for them for the past little bit here, and he's always been a really high-scoring player at this tournament. He would always go out there with a whole bunch of goals and a whole bunch of assists, and his highlights would be all over Twitter, and it would be cool to watch, and a lot of Canucks fans would be like, hey, this is our guy going out there in the offseason and shattering worlds in this charity hockey tournament. This year, though, it's not like that. In fact, Brock Boeser is in the Beauty League. He's there, yes, he's playing all the games. He's not playing for the big team. Instead, he's playing for a different sponsor, that in which is the Walser team. But when it comes to the point production, the goals, the assists, and the overwhelming numbers that we're used to seeing with Brock in this tournament, turns out he is nowhere near the top when it comes to overall points. And this is kind of why I titled and thumbnailed the video this way, because in prior years, we'd use the Beauty League as somewhat of a gauge to see, okay, Brock Boeser's going out there scoring like 5 points a game. Safe to say he's recovered from that injury that he was harboring towards the end of the year? Okay, Brock Boeser has gone out there and he's one of the top 5 scorers in the entire tournament. It's safe to say that he's going to come out in the next season and absolutely shine. This time around, though, it's not like that, because in the 4 games played that Brock Boeser has so far, he has 3 goals, 1 assist, for 4 total points. Which is a point per game, like that'd be great in the NHL. In fact, there are other players from the NHL that are in this sort of territory of producing around the 1 point per game mark. The biggest one is Anders Lee, who in 2 games played for the Walser team as well, has 1 goal for 1 total point. Now, it's difficult to articulate just how low of a scoring profile Brock Boeser and Anders Lee have without going over some of the notable names on top of these players as you get higher up there on the list. Also playing for the Walser team is Casey Mittelstadt, who has been a pretty big thorn in Boeser's side when it comes to being the #1 point guy at this tournament. He usually would go out there and score a boatload of points, but this time around playing for the Walser team, he's got 5 points in 3 games, 1 goal and 4 assists. As you go higher up, you start to see a few more names that you'll recognize from NHL training camps. Dennis Cholowski, formerly of the Red Wings and now of the Seattle Kraken, is on here. He's got 6 points in 6 games played. He's a defenseman as well, so nice to see him going out there getting those points. Joseph Lebake, you might remember as a former Utica Comet. He's got 7 points in 5 games for the Norsen team. Heck, you talk about Jake Gardner, Carolina Hurricanes guy. He's got 7 points in 4 games played. Talking about defensemen that get memed on quite a bit, Justin Hall is playing in this tournament, and he's got 9 points in 6 games. As you go up a little bit higher on the list, you could see a few more players that are in the similar range here. Dyson Jost has 10 points, 4 goals, 6 assists in 6 games played for the Element team. There are a few other Vancouver Canucks alumni players on here as well. Nick Dowd, playing for the Walser team. So he's a teammate of Brock's. He's got 11 points in 2 games played, on pace for 22 points in 4 games, which would have, like, what is that? Brock Boeser has 4 points in 4 games. That's 1 point per game. Nick Dowd is averaging 5.5 points per game. So I guess the Vancouver Canucks made a pretty big mistake letting Nick Dowd go and signing Jay Beagle all those years ago. But I digress. You go over to some other names over here. Jason Zucker has 11 points in 3 games played, so he's also got a pretty good points per game number. Nick Bjugstad has been a high-scoring player in this tournament historically. He's got 13 points in 5 games. K-Andre Miller, Rangers defenseman, playing for the big team, 13 points in 8 games. Stepan is over here with 13 points in 6 games played. And then as you get towards the top of the list, you start to see a few more names that really separate themselves from the pack of the guys near the bottom, like Brock Boeser and Anders Lee. Eric Haula has 14 points. James Van Riemsdyk has 15 points. Brock Nelson also has 15. Goligoski, 15. Brady Shea has 17 points in 7 games played. And then you get to the top of the tournament, and you see that the number 1 point producer in 8 games played is Jake Guentzel, who has 19 goals, 18 assists for 37 total points on the tournament. Jake Guentzel, okay, let's do the math right here. 37 divided by 8. Jake Guentzel is averaging 4.625 points per game, and he's not even the top goal guy. That's Vinny Lettieri, who's got 24 goals in 9 games on the year. Like, what the heck is Brock Boeser doing all the way at the bottom, only with 4 points in 4 games? I get it, it's a charity tournament. These numbers don't matter. They don't, and it doesn't really project anything into the NHL, whether or not somebody does well or poorly in this tournament. Statistically speaking, whatever, at least you're going out there, you're playing the games for charity, you're supporting the kids, that's a good cause. But this is weird. How the heck is Brock Boeser all the way down there? I haven't been watching any of these WD League games. Unfortunately, I'm not in the Minnesota area, so I can't really have access to any of these. But just seeing the numbers out there, how the heck is Jake Guentzel going out there scoring 4 points a game when Brock Boeser has 4 points on the entire 4-game sample he has had in the entire tournament so far? Like, I don't know what to say, man, but Brock, you're slipping when it comes to your WD League point production. I mean, yeah, he's been okay, I guess, in the NHL. Really did suffer a lot under Travis Green last year and then really revitalized everything once Bruce Boudreau came around. But yeah, Brock Boeser is a good player. I love Brock Boeser. We've been talking about Boeser ever since 2017, 2018 when he was in that Calder race with Matthew Barzal. But at the end of the day, just the Beauty League in general, like, we used to use this tournament, Canucks fans, I say, we used to use this tournament as an opportunity to see some off-season Brock Boeser highlights where he'd be scoring goals left, right, and center, making some insane plays, and putting up crazy high point totals, but not this time. This time he's one of the bottom percentile players in the entire tournament when it comes to points, and I think that's pretty weird. Because we know he's a good player. I mean, Anders Lee is also a very good player. That guy got 40 goals in the NHL in one season once, so he's kind of right there in that territory as well. But if anybody out there is actually, you know, in the Beauty League scene, talking about the games and going over the score sheet and seeing the highlights, maybe you're even at the games, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about just the tournament so far. Obviously, it's tough to individually single out one player because, I mean, Brock Boeser's playing on a team that has some other good NHL talent on that team as well. But thoughts on the tournament, thoughts on who's standing out? Of course, Jake Guentzel. I mean, the guy's scoring 4 or 5 points a game, so he probably does stand out in a pretty good way. Nick Dowd getting 11 points in 2 games still blows my mind because, yeah, it's Nick Dowd of all people, and Brock Boeser is barely getting a point per game. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing how the Beauty League has gone this year because it's definitely not something Canucks fans are used to when it comes to the point production from Brock. But talk to me in the comments either way, all your thoughts about the conversation over here. I hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, this video was kind of half-hearted. Like, I'm not going out there getting pissed off about the Beauty League, guys. I get it. It's a charity tournament. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's fine, no matter who produces and who doesn't. It's just, I thought it was funny enough to make a video, which is why we made this entire video over here. And bye.